Everybody good?
When did you make the final decision to go with Wyatt?
Well, all week long we've been talking as coaches about game one starter, and the one thing that we wanted to be sure of is, coming out of the conference tournament and into the regional, Gunnar had thrown a lot. We asked him to go on 3 days rest after I think 106 pitches in the conference tournament, and he threw on 3 days rest, another 97 pitches. Then we got into the rain out in Houston, backed his start up and gave him a start, and then we got out of that, and it looked like it was going to give him roughly 5 days if we go out game one. We think he needs the 6th day to rest. He's at 106 innings pitched as a true freshman. All our freshmen of the future, our program, and the biggest thing that concerned us was you cannot come out here a little tired because this team is too good. And in Gunnar's case, Gunnar's last outing around the 6th inning at Houston, he had felt like he was gassed. So we took him out of the game and went on in with a reliever. And so we're just being very cautious that he's at his best. You have to win 2 games. Doesn't matter what order you win them in. And but we want him to be as fresh as he can be. So Wyatt's at 59, right at 60 innings pitched, so he's the freshest guy for us. They were going to each go 1 and 2 or 2 and either way, one of them was going to get a game. So we just felt that it would be good to give Gunnar that extra day's rest and get him back on what he was all season, 6 days rest in between starts.
You've been going with Will first up and then Millie first up in game 2. Is that given your druthers? Is that your hope?
Well, our best bullpen right now is in middle relief, or relief is Bacon and Milhorn. They're our 2 guys, and I think they're equal. I think you can use any one of them on any day that you want. They're both up and running and both ready to go. Milhorn hadn't thrown as many innings as Bacon coming off that groin injury, but both of them are our 2 guys, 2 veteran guys. We start all freshmen. So it gives us that junior, that senior from the 5th to 6th into the deep part of the game. We got a little bit of experience there after we take out that true freshman.
Coach, the identity of last year's team was the Beards. At the beginning of this year, you said, nope, you guys can't do it. At what point did you say to these guys, okay, go for it, and what enabled you to allow that decision for them to start doing it?
Well, at midway, we got to about midway, and we got Trosclair back on the field. He had got injured in Alaska, sliding into second base and tore his labrum and the throw it arm, so it was very difficult for him to get onto the field. And once we got him onto the field about midway, we really got better. And then about that time, the freshman pitchers started to gain experience and some momentum. So we told them at this part, if you want to do it from this point on, that's fine. Just make sure everything's neatly done, no craziness or stupidness, and they've been good about it.
Tony, Paul Maneri talked about how he hoped the fan bases for each school would look at this like and have the same respect for each other as the teams do it. How this is a great series for Louisiana baseball. You feel the same way? Oh,
I agree totally. We got so much respect for Paul, and look, I've been at 24 years old. I took over McNeese and was coming here and trying to slay Coach Bertman. I mean, we've been after it for a long time, and all of what he did for college baseball and baseball in Louisiana, and then from there on, this program is very storied in their history. And on the field, I mean, when I got to my 1,000th win, Paul was one of the first guys to send me a text of congratulations. We text him when he has a great weekend or something, and we have no ill will on the field at all. I mean, baseball's baseball, and we were talking about that in a minute with Ben. Same thing in pro ball. There'll be a year where you'll get some salty guys, and if the other team has some salty guys, you got a little bit of gumbo right there, but it's not because somebody doesn't like each other, and we're coming to play baseball. That's all we're concerned with. Some people, kept trying to want to bring up. I told our players they'll try to bring up 2002. Make sure you tell them it's 2015. So we got a lot of respect for him, and Paul, when I won our regional in Houston, he sent me a text and said it's going to be a great weekend. I congratulated his team and told him the same thing. So a lot of our guys know them. We've recruited some of them. Some of them have been on our campus on recruiting visits. So we're all close. We all know each other. And one great thing is Louisiana is going to be represented at the College World Series, and it can't get much better than that.
Both you and Paul's coaching trees have grown recently in the last couple of years. How has it been to see some of your former assistants take on some jobs? I know the Virginia-Maryland series is a big one.
Yes, it is. Coach Sheff, is at Maryland, and he's one of my former assistant coaches, and I've got, I think, 5 or 6 Division I head coaches now, and you can see the coaching tree from here, from not only Coach Maneri, but also Coach Bergman and Bianca last year, who broke through. Unfortunately, he broke through to Omaha on my field, but I was glad for him. It was his first time busting through. I know what it feels like, and he got that opportunity, and that comes from the coaching tree over here. And I think that's what's made college baseball so tough today. I don't think the top's gotten bad. I think the bottom's gotten good, because 15 years ago, great assistants just always stayed with those coaches. Then all of a sudden, you get Bianca, coming out of LSU now with a job, and Tommy Raffo leaves Mississippi State and Polk. Now he's in my conference. A couple years ago we got Turtle Thomas that left here, and then now I'm fighting him at FIU. So I think so many great assistants have traveled now and brought good baseball all over the place, that now, man, baseball is just good. It's just good everywhere, and it's made it good for the game of baseball. But both our trees have gone on, and I'm glad for that they're going on to have some success. And Coach Sheff is a good guy and a great family man, and I wish him the best of luck in his super regional.
Any update on Brand after today?
I don't know if it's going to be a situation where he can play third base. Maybe a situation that maybe he can pinch hit for us. And maybe as the day wears on, the longer we stay here, maybe potentially get out to third. But right now, I think it's probably going to maybe be more of a pinch hit situation than it will be playing at third base.
How's Joe Robbins with maybe that added responsibility? Is you ready to go there?
Yeah, I think Joe's fine. The good thing about Joe is Joe has played with us for 3 years, haven't played a lot, but he's always been right there in BT's hip pocket at shortstop for the last 2.5 years. This year he's been able to move to the outfield for us in third base, so I think Joe will be fine.
What do you think of that LSU lineup? Your thoughts on their batters?
Well, they remind me a lot of us last year. We were fast. They're fast. And the 2 big challenges for us to be successful is we run out all starting true freshmen on the mound, and that's going to be our biggest challenge. We're older in the field, but we're very young on the mound, and the 2 biggest challenges will be the crowd here, which it always is. They'll try to speed you up, and then their team can play fast, so they can speed you up. And baseball's played with an internal clock. And if you get too far ahead of yourself, you can get in some trouble and look like the Bad News Bears. And people don't understand, how could you have missed that ball, or how could you have thrown that away? It was such an easy play, but it's the moment. The moment can get too big. And what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to keep the game slow and not let the moment get too big for us.
The amount of success that you guys have had